by 80%, and that's about 20 individuals. Please support this bill. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Susan Williams from Salem. Okay, don't see Susan. All right, we have 3 members and we'll have 3 on deck. We have Cody White.
Okay, so we're a little late to the party, but that's okay. Better late than never. Let's watch this dog and pony show.
3 of you can come down, and then we'll on deck Chris Prim in person, Nate McCoy in person, and R.A. Fontes in person. And so whoever would like to begin, please begin your testimony. That's fine. Sometimes people sign up and then they aren't able to come for some reason or number. We just are trying to prioritize the folks that signed up in order.
Committee members, my name is Mike Russell, Columbia County Public Works Director. Appreciate the opportunity to join you again today and share the benefits that additional road funding would bring to our community. Columbia County is home to deep water ports and sizable industrial development. We're fortunate to have a unique local funding source, a natural resources depletion fee that is assessed on gravel extraction activities. Even with this, the State Highway Fund still makes up about 70% of our road fund, and we would struggle mightily to keep roads and bridges in safe condition without it. Columbia County is proud steward of 536 road miles and 104 bridges. Columbia County has been practicing back to basics fix-it-first model for decades, and we're proud to be efficient stewards of public dollars. Operations, maintenance, preservation activities make up 70% of the expenditures of our department. 28% supports our 15 dedicated staff, and just 2% go to capital projects. Despite this, deferred maintenance is still a significant issue, and we hear from the public often as elected officials. I'm sure you do as well. Historic inflation, loss of federal support, labor shortages, and persistent supply chain disruptions for basic construction materials have severely limited the number of operations, maintenance, and deferred maintenance projects that local governments can afford. Columbia County is set to receive about $1.8 million in new revenue from LC2 and approximately a 30% increase, which will be instrumental in helping us establish a robust pavement preservation program. But without additional legislation, this program will not be sustainable. I am grateful for the opportunity to speak with you today. Columbia County appreciates this modest funding package that meets short-term immediate needs and reduces service cuts. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Co-Chair Wagner, Co-Chair Fahey, committee members, thank you for your time. Karen Goodness, I oppose LC2 because some of those who will be affected by increased taxes will be those on fixed incomes like me, single parents and their children, and veterans, and the list goes on. So some areas to increase funds are cancel the $10 million just spent on the AI K-12, whatever that is, grant or something. Do an audit across all agencies by outside agencies like Elon Musk and use the $27 million just granted for audits and pay ODOT and keep all the employees. There are unfilled ODOT positions that can be used to pay the employees. So let's clean up the pork. We don't need more taxes. No on LC2.
Thank you.
Under a minute. No. Okay, I'm done.
You did it.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your testimony. Again, we have in person Chris Prim, Cody White, Nate McCoy listed in person. Also in person on deck, Nick Card and Andy Owens on deck. So
John Barnes, I think.
John Barnes is in person. Okay, sorry, John Barnes as well. And whoever would like to begin, just please provide your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Chris Prim. I'm an ODOT employee, but I'm not speaking on their behalf. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer for the Association of Engineering Employees, PAC. I ask you to review my online testimony where I'll provide more specifics, but I do have some things I'd like to say. Of our members, 77 have been notified of layoff and 161 unfilled positions will be canceled without this LC2 passage. Our members provided incredible value to Oregonians in monitoring, designing, managing construction of, and maintaining state highways that we all use. AE members, in conjunction with SEIU and unrepresented employees, show up to keep our transportation system as functional as we can with the resources ODOT has allocated. It's critical to note, too, that our transportation-specific taxes are considerably lower than those of surrounding states. The reality is that infrastructure is expensive, complicated, often limited by conflicting guiding principles and user desires. Its failures are highly visible and highly impactful. Despite that, we welcome a continuous improvement approach and audits to provide accountability. Ultimately, Oregonians will pay for the decision that you make in this special session, one way or another, either through increased taxes and fees, which I estimate to be less than $16 per month for the average household, or through decreased mobility, increased road closures from weather events and debris flows, longer outages from failed equipment, more damage to property, and more injuries, even death, of our fellow citizens. We are sensitive to tight budgets, but expect Oregonians will lose more value than they are saving in their bank account. We support LC2 as the least bad option available. We do not want our colleagues to lose their livelihoods or be forced to relocate outside of their communities to find work. They have served the public and deserve better. I urge your support.
Thank you. Welcome.
Chair, committee members, thank you for having me here.
Yeah,
today.
notice
For the record,
in their
my
bank
name is
account,
Mike.
as if a lot of low-income people have a lot of money slushing around in their bank account.
In the nation. For the record,
And
we fully
172
support
people.
LC2,
Is that what he said?
and we
Jesus.
have the utmost confidence that this will strengthen ODOT's staff morale, the capacity, and the budgeting that we're talking about here today. And at the same time, and I've heard other testimony, but we also want to urge prioritizing the external jobs that many of these projects that ODOT has in its wheelhouse to be essential for recovering our economy, not just in Portland, but also across the rest of the state. It's also important to note the accountability measures that we know ODOT needs for the taxpayer dollars that we are using. It's been going on for far too long, so we want to see that happen. I'm also here to express strong support advancing construction on the I-5 Rose Quarter project and the Interstate Bridge Replacement project. I've been at NAMAC now 10 years, let's say almost my whole time at NAMAC. I've been dealing on those two projects alone, flying to D.C., here in front of you all in Salem to try to see this happen for our communities, especially in a decimated community like the neighboring reconnecting initiatives of ABT and others with the history of everything that's happened building the I-5 Rose Corridor through some of our communities. I'd also like to say that the I-5 corridor has suffered for decades. Deferred maintenance, these are among some of the most dangerous congestions sections, as you all know, in the state. And every day we delay, it puts safety, mobility, and even costs at risk. One of the things I'd like to really underscore is we all know this too, especially in development, that we cannot have a strong economy if we don't have strong infrastructure. So we really, really need to figure this out. We know you all are working very hard to make this happen, but we really want to tell
Yeah, that's bullshit.
over 350 contractors that you guys are shooting and fighting for. us to
Oregon's
see this
running
project,
businesses out left
be
and right,
economically
and it has nothing to
advantageous
do with
throughout our
infrastructure.
state.
It's
So I will
policy.
stop there and appreciate this time this evening.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Hello, I'm R.A. Fonts from Lake Oswego. Asking that you pull the transit tax increase for the regular session. Three reasons. First off, operators throughout the state, from Klamath Falls to Astoria, mostly have seen their costs rise before COVID while ridership was going down. COVID did accelerate both of these trends, but for most agencies all across the states, the costs are going way up, the ridership is going down. Secondly, we have ongoing changes in technology which are attracting riders. We've seen people commute from home, work from home instead of commuting. It's a big thing. It's growing faster than any means of traveling to work, according to the Census Bureau. The total cost, according to AAA, for operating a Toyota Camry is 52 cents a mile. Total cost. The operating cost for most of our operators for one passenger for 1 mile is typically over $2, over $3 in some cases. Obviously, what I'm trying to say here is that as what do they call them? The robo-taxis come along, which are already in Austin and Las Vegas, which are cities comparable size to Portland, that we can expect the alternatives to transit to increase greatly. Finally,
Yeah, but they love their public transportation. That's the cash cow. They'll have one guy riding the bus and justify
there's a video from
spending
the first week
a
of
ton of money
October.
on
The
it.
board shows just how self-serving it is. Top heavy. They have 32 top executives now with 1/3 less riders than they had in the peak year of 2012 when they had only 11 top executives paying over $150,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
Damn, that guy was dropping facts. They don't like
Who I
that.
just got notice is also.
They got to roll out more of those sappy, oh, we're going to lose their jobs and I can't buy another car.
Person, and then on decks, Joe Ferguson, person Lee Seaberger, okay, and then Tim Cowan. Those are the on decks. Okay, please identify, sir, for the record.
I'll go ahead and start. Thank you, representatives and senators. My name is Nick Card. I come before you wearing a number of different hats. I am the council president for Medford. I am the vice chairman of the Oregon Trucking Association, and I'm also third generation in a family trucking business where we employ over 500 people serving 48 states and Canada with a variety of specialized freights. The thread that ties these roles together is a robust transportation system. What we have before us in LC2 is a bill that will not only help us achieve a more robust transportation system, but address significant policy
Oh,
issues.
well,
that
if
have
it's
been-
already robust, how could it be more
I
robust?
want to highlight 3 pieces of the bill for your consideration. First is the highway cost allocation. We have faced a historic inequity in the cost allocation between light and heavy vehicles in trucking. This bill addresses that. This bill also possesses the foresight to come up with a mechanism to try to address this into the future. It is not good when we have inequity in payment in our system. Our Constitution requires fairness, and this bill addresses that. Second piece that I wanted to highlight is the weight mile taxes for trucking. This is a huge problem for our industry, and I'm excited to see this being addressed. For context, it takes me longer to do Oregon's weight mile taxes than it does all other 47 states and Canada put together. Oregon's system is archaic, it's complex, and it's unnecessary. We are moving with this bill to a better system that brings us more in line with the way the rest of the states do this. And lastly, I'm almost out of time, but I wanted to highlight the 50-30-20 split. This is an important piece about investing in local communities. I-5 runs right through the middle of Medford. If something were to happen to the viaduct, it would be our local streets that those riders would be using, and so thank you for your continued investment.
Thank you.
Co-chairs, committee members, my name is Andrew Owens, CEO of A&M Transport, Glendale, Oregon, and past chair of the Oregon Trucking Association. I traveled the 3 hours up here today, dealt with a flat tire along the way, just FYI. I'm thankful watch a lot of NASCAR, so I had the tips down on how you.
Well, this guy's pro, obviously.
However, I came here today in
Let's see.
support of LC2. It's fixing some transportation language that's needed to have been addressed for years, as Nick alluded to, Jan alluded to it earlier. Some things that I don't particularly, that give me indigestion are, the pretty steep increases in the registration titles. Coming from based out of rural Southern Oregon, increasing, my employees' payroll taxes for a system that they will probably never use in their lifetime. That's a difficult one for me. But in respect of everybody's time here today, and I don't want to repeat things that have been already said, I'm going to submit my testimony that goes a little deeper into the weeds. But thanks for the time today.
This guy didn't say jack. He just said, I got a flat. Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah, co-chairs, members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is John Barnes, and like Nick, I wear multiple hats. Oregon taxpayer, chairman of the Government Affairs Committee for the Oregon Trucking Association, and I'm also a regional fleet and municipal salesman representing Mack trucks and Volvo trucks throughout Oregon and most of Washington as well.
It's got to throw in branding.
Coaster to get to where we are today. The House Bill 2025 being the beginning of this process, one of the largest tax increases in Oregon's history, if not the largest. As an Oregon taxpayer, I was a bit against that. House Bill 3042, removing everything for the local governments, having a lot of counties that I provide equipment for, the snow plows, street sweepers, and the like. I was a bit against that. Now we're at the middle of the road. We've reached the compromise, approving LC2.
What's the compromise, dude? We've reached it, but what is it?
Now, but again,
More money.
good be the enemy of perfect. Let's put the Band-Aid on, and then we can move forward, find different programs, different systems.
Are you fucking kidding me? Put the Band-Aid on?
In regards to transportation. And it's age-old adage, how do you eat an elephant?
Put the Band-Aid
one
over
bite
the
at a time.
Band-Aid. Put the Band-Aid over the Band-Aid.
And hopefully LCC takes the first bite.
Thank you, sir. Running straight down the list of in-person, we're actually doing a pretty good job with the folks in person. We had John Ferguson, Leslie Seeberger, Tim Cowan. Okay. And then on deck, we had Dwayne.
I'm really not sure what all this dog and pony is going to do. I'm pretty sure most of the people on the panel already have their mind made up as far as what they're going to vote. So, I mean, it's entertaining. You can see all the sappy stories that, oh my God, we're going to lose our jarbs. My gerbs. But who cares? Not a single person lost their job so far. And as far as I'm concerned, they're still hiring DII people.
Do this in two parts. The first one is addressing the issue, and the second is the bill. Okay? On the first part, I'm the chair of the Legislative Commission for American Legion, Department of Oregon. So on behalf of the veterans and those on fixed income,
so this guy's going to be against
about the impact of this. And what I would recommend, as an example, there's a study that can be done on tax incidents, which addresses who has a legal responsibility for the tax versus the person that has to pay the tax. So on those on fixed income, if you have a tax on trucks and transportation, well, who actually bears the burden of the tax? Even though the company...
Everybody else. It's socialized.
And I think that would be something to take a look at.
We got government welfare for all these engineers and everybody just sitting around. DI hires.
As I read through this, there's a difference between revenue and expenditures. And based on my background in banking, this is what I would say. I had to report my results every 90 days, and I had to plan for the unexpected, and when it happened, I wasn't surprised.
Oh, come on. No accountability for them, the government. Come on now. Accountability is like kryptonite.
For it. So it doesn't have that kind of impact on it. Like in banking, it could be interest rates, political risk, foreign currency exchange risk, changes in federal law. You had to plan for all that, so you didn't have a surprise in 90 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a bummer.
My name is Leslie Seeberger. I'm from Vernonia, Oregon, and I have a very firm no coming on this particular bill. Now, with that being said, do I think that the ODOT workers need to be laid off? No. I think we have a terrible spending.
I do. Lay them off.
in 2024, we had record high fuel tax returns. So far this year, you have given Planned Parenthood $10 million on a funding package. You know, I don't care if people get abortions, pay for it yourself. We have $2.5 million on Planned Parenthood clinic upgrades. We have
That's the Democrats' darling. You can't talk about the Planned Parenthood.
you guys approved of this year on top of the $387 million already allocated. What about the Oregonians that go to work every day and pay taxes? We drive down these roads. We need to
I
have
like
good
this
roads
lady.
to drive
She's
on.
feisty.
We need those passes cleared. We need ODOT, but we also need spending being done correctly in this state. We work really hard. I pay my taxes. I have to budget myself. I believe that the government needs to budget themselves. And if I act like I'm very upset, I am. You know how many people are going to lose their job if this goes through? Have you been watching the businesses close? Have you been watching the businesses
Bingo.
leave the state of Oregon?
No, we need transportation to make it more gooder.
You in office because we need you to stand up for Oregonians. All Oregonians, not just Portland, not just people here, and not just special interest groups. We need you to take care of us. And I am begging you to listen to Oregonians. I said at the Oregon Fair booth on Friday, over 500 people stopped in my booth. You know what they wanted? To sign no on a petition for this. I told them there was none. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Okay, so I think
Man, that lady, I like her. She's just speaking right off the top of her dome. But this is one of the rare people that have common sense in Oregon. Besides everybody else is trying to grab the money. The 80, what is it? 50, 30, 20? Yeah, it's all about the money.
I do want to jump online. I think we had somebody who was waiting for a while. Karen Shire. Yeah. Okay, Karen Shire. So please, you can just identify yourself for the record, and then I'm just going to continue to work the list of the folks that are in the room. Great, thank you.
It's actually pronounced Shire.
Okay, we're going to take testimony in the room, and then you're up next. Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Co-Chairs President Wagner, Speaker Fahey, and members of the Joint Committee of Transportation Funding. My name is Mark Leese. I'm the President of the American Council of Engineering Companies of Oregon. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today and express our strong support for transportation funding in Oregon. ACEC Oregon represents over 110 engineering firms and more than 4,800 employees across the state. We've long supported infrastructure investment and have been actively involved in key efforts like the 2025 Transportation Roundtables, HB 2017, and the OTIA packages.
Yeah, more money, guy. More money. Give us more money.
From the very beginning of projects through completion, we see firsthand the critical need for strong public agency staffing and a consistent infrastructure maintenance. Transportation projects are complex and expensive, but the cost of neglecting them is even greater. ACEC supports helping to preserve the core capabilities of ODOT and local governments. Today, we risk losing hundreds of essential staff, which would directly impact project delivery and public service. Looking ahead, we also support future packages focused on capital investments in the 2026 legislative session. ACEC is committed to build solutions that work for everyone, especially as federal support becomes less predictable. We also urge implementation of procurement efficiency recommendations from the recent ODOT managerial review.
We get it.
Right
More
now,
money.
it can take up to 18 months to get projects started after selecting a consultant. That delays drives up project costs and slows down delivery. We need a faster, more consistent process. On behalf of ACEC Oregon, thank you for your leadership and to Governor Kotek in leaning into this process and the complex issue. We're ready to support you in moving forward with Oregon's transportation system. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take one more call. One more call for Dwayne Duran, Truman Whiting.
I don't understand why
Okay, and then we have
self-appointed
Karen
Wagner's
Shire.
still
I'm
on the
sorry,
board.
I mispronounced your name. Sure, and so please, why don't you begin your testimony? Okay, so Karen.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Karen Chire. I'm a lifelong Portland resident, Army veteran, and the owner of a small family-owned convenience store located next to Providence Park in downtown Portland. Today, I want to express my strong opposition to LC2 and any new taxes and fees that would further burden our community and small businesses like mine. Over the past years, my business has faced numerous challenges, primarily due to alarming increase in theft, vandalism, and threats. The loss of money from thefts has been insurmountable. We have invested thousands of dollars in security tools and surveillance equipment, as well as repairs to protect our employees and our livelihood. Just since April, we've had.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with transportation. That's just our weak ass.
Not only for our finances, but also
criminal,
retention.
whatever.
Many of our staff
The
members
district
have
attorneys and
expressed fear
everything.
about
Oh,
their safety,
we got all
leading
these
to high
tweakers running
turnover rates
around
that further
with
strain our
impunity.
operations. As a downtown business owner, I am also subject to an additional $1 per hour on top of the state's minimum wage. This added financial pressure makes it increasingly difficult for us to keep our doors open. We are already grappling with rising employment taxes, business taxes, and fees from Portland and Multnomah County, and we simply cannot absorb any more costs. The impact of these challenges is evident in our community. Over the past year, we have seen more than 20 businesses leave within a 4-block radius of our store, and I regret to report that at least 4
And more are leaving every day.
Year. While safety concerns are often cited as the primary reason for these closures, many businesses are struggling with the.
And I don't blame them. Come on, lady, this is not on topic. We get it.
I urge this committee to consider conducting audits into the allocation and utilization of transportation funds before seeking additional revenue from small businesses and our community. We should first explore any unspent money from other budgets. It is crucial that we responsibly manage our existing resources. And thank you.
Thank you. Okay, just continue to make every effort to work the listed person. Is Evan Oneto?
Okay, well, I can't imagine that they're not going to ram this through. They're going to grab that money either way. There's no other reason why they called another session.
Okay, John Ferguson, Ronnie Daniels, we're pretty close. Ava Rich. Okay, I'm going to read those 3 names. And then after that, we have 3 more on deck who list in person. We're pretty close. Catherine Bisco, Lori Preston.
I wonder how long this is going to go on. The last time it went on forever. And I'm already late to the party, so who knows? Probably.
Downs, I just drove 150 miles from Southern Oregon, even though I live in Polk County. I got to make $1. I already submitted my statements.
Oh, this guy's here to take name and kick ass. Or kick ass and take names.
Nigel, please. Because what y'all done,
I
go
like
back to
this
your
guy.
record. We're at 83% of $127 billion 2023-2025 budget is federal money. This state 30 years ago used to take less than 8%. You was cutting 5.2 billion board feet of wood. You was number 4 to number 7 in education. Your highway system, they just added a 3rd lane through Salem here.
Hell yeah,
They
this
added
guy's
the
talking
2nd
truth
lane when it
with
was a
the
single lane.
wood
33
industry. They
years ago
really
when I traveled through here.
neutered that
It's
one
now
pretty
2
good.
and 3 lane from there all the way up to southern Douglas County. The problem is this: too much grifting. My taxes has gone up. My insurance gone up. You fund it through these processes. You got a rest stop. ODOT has a lot of traffic activity, illegal transfer right at the South Jefferson rest stop. There was fight power poles. You're violating the coastal water.
I love this guy. Instead of these freaking paper holding drones that are, oh, please save our jobs.
Kicking down the road. Law enforcement's hands been tied since 2021, but Senate Bill 1510. And that's the last thing I will say. My insurance has gone up since 2020, almost $1,400 a year, and I got a good record, including somebody side-biting me on my Power Stroke diesel, hit and ran. It cost almost $12,000 for my insurance to get my truck together. I live on cash and carry. I live within a budget, and what I see is more segregational on law-abiding. And keep this in mind, I appreciate what ODOT does, but the fact is this. If the businesses are leaving this state, you keep digging my pocket, it's cost me $11,000 more to live. And now and our fuel price at $64 a barrel was less than $2.49 in 2021.
Come
How
on,
in the
give
heck
this
is
guy
my
another-
fuel prices that high? And you
More
want more
time.
money? I want an ODOT
I love this guy.
independent investigation of their funding and stop this overspending. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hell yeah.
Okay, continuing with folks who had signed up, who might be here.
Now he's got to drive back another 100 miles.
Bisco.
But I'm glad he's here.
Okay, and then we had on deck Lori Preston, Nathaniel Hudson Hartman. Let's try that. And then we're almost on the last page. Okay, anyone?
Looks like the room is clearing out after all the testimony, so we might be getting a little closer to the end over here.
The like last couple people that were the in-person signups. So please, you can begin. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lori Preston. I'm out in a rural area, so a lot of this transportation issues affect us quite heavily. One of the things as well, as independent, people have struggled so hard lately. They get the motorcycles in order to cut back on gas. They got the electric cars in order to cut back on the cost. Everything that you're penalizing us for right now with the registration fees.
And they're coming after the electrics next because there's no revenue in there. So I think, what is it? Colorado and a few other states got enormous registration taxes. I think Colorado's like $1,600 every couple of years or something on electrics.
And I agree, it's the budget. I mean, they need to be held accountable for the budgeting. They need to know. I don't want an ODOT worker to lose his job by any means. I don't want the transportation for the snow plows and all of that to go away. Of course not. None of us do. But to tax us for that when we've already given so much, it's got to come somewhere else.
The thing is, I think a lot of this money goes into a general budget, and then they blow it on dumb shit, and then, oh crap, look at here, we're out of money to pay for all the services that we actually need.
Good evening, co-chairs Wagner, Fahey, co-vice chairs Bonham, Drazen, and members of the committee. My name is Catherine Bisco. I'm a resident of Philomath, Oregon, in Benton County. I'm here in support of LC2 with assurances of increased oversight and accountability and solutions with lower no-cost tax increases. Like many others that have testified here today, I wear many hats. I'm a 20-year small business owner, including in the transportation sector, small business development professional with 12 years of experience in local government, community development, and advocacy. I've served formerly in local government as a city councilor in the city of Philomath and the League of Oregon Cities Board of Directors, representing Oregon's 241 incorporated cities, and I currently serve as a Benton County Planning Commissioner. And in each of these roles, it's well known that it is critical that we have local, regional, and statewide transportation to be adequately and sustainably funded. I have been employed at ODOT since 2021 in the Office of Equity and Civil Rights, now the Office of Engagement and Civil Rights, working with small business programs, including the Emerging Small Business, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, but also ODOT's 2022 Disparity Study, development of the DBE Advisory Committee, and in contracts, compliance, intergovernment, and interagency agreements and audits. I am one of the 483 ODOT employees on the announced layoff list. But today I want to talk about the ODOT layoffs that will impact the agency's small business contracting capacity in Oregon small business communities, in particular in rural regions. My position currently at the Office of Equity and Civil Rights is the Emerging Small Business Program Manager. You won't have read about this ESB program in ODOT's Executive Order 2215 reporting or seen us before the Oregon Transportation Commission or even in ODOT's data tracking systems, but for the last 3 biennia, this state-funded program with just $10 million per biennium budget has delivered hundreds of projects for Oregonians, contracting managed by more than 80 dedicated ODOT professionals across all 5 ODOT regions and 14 districts, many now at risk of layoff. Each biennium.
That's fine. Cut them.
I'll submit the rest.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We had Ava Rich in person, and then we had Nathaniel Hudson Hartman. I'm going to also finish, and I think we're going to get through everybody that was in person for testimony. William Drennan, Jamie Ania, okay, and then Dennis Hebert, and then we've got some folks virtually that we can continue to run. But please identify yourself for the record.
Check 1, 2. My name's Nathaniel Hudson Hartman, transplanted Beavertonian. Thank you for the time. Good to see all of your lovely faces. And I represent thousands of essential transportation workers who know firsthand what it's like to face uncertainty about the future of our livelihoods due to legislation that didn't get done this past session.
Well, get with the program.
Struggling rideshare drivers.
Everybody else in the private sector have to live with uncertainty. That's just the way of life.
It hurts us even more to know that now the future hangs in the balance for thousands more of our siblings in essential transportation work. I'm not going to run too long because I know we all probably want to get out of here before the traffic sets in.
Right.
But
Sure.
we all know what's at stake here. Just want to say that our driver community believes in each and every one of you. You can do this, guys. We have no doubt you'll figure this out so we can, preserve not just our roads, but the jobs of those who preserve them. So those like us who depend on them can keep our state moving forward without being left behind. Thank you.
Thank you. We had William Drennan, Jamie Nina, and Dennis Hebert. Any folks? Okay, so we can run.
Where the hell is Tina's smug face? Usually she's sitting around somewhere.
And Haymaker. My apologies for the pronunciation. Joe Buck and Rory Bielostowski. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you signed up before 2:30 today? Why don't you just go ahead and come up right now? We did have through OLIS, we had an opportunity, so I might have just missed your name on the list here. Otherwise, we probably didn't get you.
Come on, get with it. I think we only have a handful more left. And then they're going to vote for it anyways, I assume. This is just a dog and pony show.
District and no problem.
Okay.
And also a board member for our local transit agency, CAT. We have 9 schools, 4,000 students, and I hope to do them justice and be the voice of children today. We can do so much for them with very little. In our county, we've invested like under $15,000 in very small infrastructure projects, and it's made a huge difference for their safety, their well-being. There was an Atlantic article recently that asked children, what would it take to get you off your phones? And their number one response was independence to play in our neighborhoods. I have parents all the time that tell me, thank you for instilling confidence.
I'm not sure what that
and
has to
freedom
do with the
in my
transportation
child.
bill.
So I'm right there with the trucking advocates that I'm frustrated, I'm sad that you guys didn't pass the bill in June. And I'm frankly exhausted, but I refuse to
Like she's been running on a treadmill this whole time.
for our children's safety and well-being. So number 1, urge you to pass this bill, this Band-Aid bill. Number 2,
Put a Band-Aid on the Band-Aid.
gubernatorial candidates to come up with a transportation vision, make safety your mega project. And number 3, help counties out by, especially small counties that are under 200,000, and let us raise our vehicle registration fees so we can come up with sustainable funding on our own to be immune from state and local or federal politics. Generation A.
Boy, that would be a wet dream. Immune from the
really
state
needs your
politics.
support for their families and their well-being, and I appreciate your time listening. Thank you.
With me too. Okay, so we had.
All right, well, that was not really useful. Come on, let's get some. We need some more fire up in this.
Get the other name. And then Joe Buck and Rory.
Joe Buck and
Okay. Okay. Ms. Hammaker, *6. She can't get us. We can come right back to her as well.
Oh, there it is. I think
Okay.
she got it.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay. I am just calling in to say no new taxes. No new taxes. Our budget in Oregon is $33,333 per person, and if that is not enough to fund what we need, I don't know what is. So I don't feel like I'm getting $33,333 worth of government benefits. So no new taxes. Thank you.
And can you just identify yourself before you hang up the phone too, so we can get you for the record?
Yes, my name is Jennifer Hamaker.
Perfect.
I am the president of Oregon Natural Resource Industries.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, continuing with our
Thank
virtual
you.
testimony. I think we had Joe Buck.
Wow, somebody part of the naturalist movement or whatever industry, and they're against it. Normally, they love government graft.
LC2 based in large part on the critical 50-30-20 sharing of revenues. And I want to thank all of you for convening this forum to hear voices from across the state, to validate and enhance support for additional.
Again, there's that 50-30-20. It's all about the money. The last time it didn't pass, a lot of the people that were even after the money, they were upset that those ratios were not being observed in the actual language. So they were like, "Oh, we're not getting any our chunk of money over here. It's not 50-30-20 or whatever."
Livable and more resilient and support growth in housing and the economy. These are funds that are spent wisely based on community priorities.
No, they're not.
Local budget committees and city councils across the state. As we look forward towards transition.
Everybody's calling it a Band-Aid. That's not spent wisely, dude.
To any road user charge, and local jurisdictions need the ability to apply a local RUC at their option, just as they have been able to with the gas tax. Please also keep in mind that the doubling of the statewide transit tax does little to serve communities on the fringes of larger transit districts. Employees in these areas will pay more for no improvement. We need the legislature to create more flexibility within the STIF program to allow all local communities to tap these funds in ways that work for them to support a safe, reliable, and equitable transportation system. After all, every community has residents, including seniors, workers, and disabled residents who rely on public transportation and community connectivity. Thank you all for the chance to provide this comment.
Thank you. Roy Bielostowski.
Hi, Senator. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, so he's for personal, every county having their own way to charge rates, which right now I guess that's not the case.
I serve as the mayor of West Lynn. I'm here to voice our city's support for the scaled back transportation package in LC2. The 50-30-20 revenue sharing split remains critical for all cities, and we're grateful in West Lynn.
There's that 50, what the hell, 50-30-20? Yeah.
In Westland, we manage 228 lane miles of roadway with just a handful of city staff on a limited budget. And our budget is stretched thin, costs are going up for materials and labor, and we don't have enough funding to keep all of our roads in good condition. Every dollar we receive through this package will help us take care of the infrastructure people use every day, filling potholes, improving safety, and preserving pavement. So we need whatever we can get. And I appreciate also that this bill appears to repeal the controversial tolling program legislation that would have negatively impacted Westland and the rest of the Portland area. I want to note...
yeah, but they'll find a way to bring it back. They love that toll shit. It's a huge graft.
Is funding for jurisdictional transfers of so-called orphan highways. As you know, Senate President, we have state-owned Highway 43 running through Westland. It's in poor condition. Doing any project as a city along the roadway is extremely costly and time-consuming due to state permitting requirements and regulations. So a financially supported transfer and improvement process like the previous bill contemplated with the Great Streets program would allow willing cities to take ownership of these roads. And as part of that process, the state would fund improvements to get the road up into good condition. Cities would save on project costs in long term because not having to go through the state permit processes with long delays, while ODOT would save in the long term on its maintenance as well. So in summary, I urge the legislature to pass LC2.
This guy's well rehearsed. I like that.
The transportation investment package in the near future that would include the Great Streets jurisdictional transfer funding. That
even though you can tell he's reading, but he definitely rehearsed for this.
For your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just going to go right to the sign-up list for folks that sign up via remote and make it through as many folks as we can. So we had Mayor Lacey Beatty at the top, Bruce Hanson, and then the next person was Karen Sheary.
We already took Karen.
Oh, okay, sorry. She was like right in order. And then Colleen Newbert. Okay, so I'm just calling folks in order.
They're all online. So
they are? Okay.
Let's start with them.
So Mayor Lacey Beatty? My apologies. It's,
yeah.
We got folks in person here, so we're coming back around to the top. So
Are you sure there's no more lobbyists in the building that need to talk before the mayors, or we're good now?
Oh, that's hilarious.
I think your lobbyist is in. Would you like him to come back up?
That's perfectly placed humor right there.
It's 40 miles from Salem, not 100. Co-chairs Wagner, Fahey, and vice chairs and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Lacey Beatty, and I am the very lucky mayor of Beaverton. I also serve as the chair of the Metropolitan Mayors Consortium, representing 24 cities across the Portland metro area with more than 1.7 million Oregonians calling the metro region home. The MMC supports the special session proposal because it preserves the long-standing 50-30-20 state highway funding distribution split. That partnership between state
There's that freaking split again we're talking about. It's all about the money.
System for decades and remains the essential to keeping our communities moving. While we support this near-term solution, it is critical that we do not lose sight of what must come next. This proposal does not include funding for safe routes to school, great streets, or other anchor projects identified in House Bill 2017. It also leaves
No, it's going to go in the general fund. We'll spend it on DEI projects.
Funding framework. These gaps must be part of the legislative upcoming work if we want a system that is both stable and future focused. Our constituents rely on sidewalks, signal, signage, and road maintenance every day to reach their jobs, school, and healthcare. Metro area infrastructure also supports freight movement and trade corridors that drive the state's economy. Without reliable funding, these core services will fall further behind and the system as a whole will suffer. The mayors of the metro region urge you to pass this proposal and return quickly to the table for broader work ahead. We stand ready to partner with you to ensure Oregon's transportation system serves every community today and in the future. Thank you.
Got it. So pass this Band-Aid so we could start working on a new Band-Aid. Put more Band-Aids on the Band-Aids.
Newbert and Sarita Treywick. Okay, I'm just letting you know those three in order, and then we'll continue to call folks. So, Mr. Hanson, welcome.
Good evening, Co-Chair Fahey, Wagner, members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you today. For the record, I'm Bruce Hanson. I'm the president of Amalgamated TransUnion Local 757. We represent 5,617 transit members across the state of Oregon and Southwest Washington. The proposed 0.1% increase of the payroll tax is critical investment in Oregon's public transit system.
5,000 transportation employees, and 0.1 is a spit in the ocean compared to the graph that's going on there.
Services and essential transportation options for working Oregonians. The funding helps ensure stable employment for thousands of transit workers who provide safe, reliable service every day. Without this support, transit agencies could face service cuts or layoffs, jeopardizing both jobs and mobility for people who depend on us the most. The funding supports low-income riders, seniors, students, and people with disabilities.
Yeah, but we're going to tax them first. Let's tax them so we can support them.
Reach of transit service.
The logic behind that is retarded.
Transit connects people to jobs, reduces congestion, benefiting all commuters, not just those who ride. Invest in transit. It is essential to meeting Oregon's climate goals, reducing emissions and expanding access to opportunity for workers. ATU sees every day how vital these services are in the communities of our members' work. We strongly support the passage of this package, specifically the payroll tax increase to protect and grow Oregon's public transportation.
Thank you. Colleen Newbert, Neubert. Is she online?
Yeah, thank you. My name's My name is Colleen Neubert, and I'm from Oregon. Thank you, Chairman, co-chairs, members of the committee. I oppose this as far as its manner of funding. I support ODOT.
She's from Oregon. No shit, Sherlock.
It rather than on the backs of the taxpayers. The taxpayer well is dry. My pay has not caught up with inflation from the past 4.5 years. My insurance rates have went up, even though I've had no accidents,
Hey, welcome to reality.
You know, taxes, fees, utilities, everything keeps going up. We can't afford any more. There's other places in the greater state budget that can be trimmed. Our governor's fond of saying that illegal immigration is a federal issue. Then why are we paying money for their legal defense. Put that money to ODOT and our road maintenance where it belongs. And I'm sure there's plenty more areas.
That's the Democrat activism right there.
Fund ODOT. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarita Trawick. Okay. And then running straight in order, Dave Farmer.
Again, a lot of this will end up in the general fund, which will just be skimmed off the top. That's why all the communities are really pushing on that 50-30-20 split, because they want the cream right off the top immediately, but we'll see how that works out.
Okay. If you can just identify yourself for the record, please.
Perfect. Thank you. Co-chairs, members of the committee, thank you for coming back in a special session to help address some urgent transportation needs.
Yeah, let's put a freaking kid on the camera. Come on.
And the Region 1 Act by
Save the kids, save the whales.
Support for the LC2, and in particular, the 50-30-20 revenue split between states, counties, and cities.
Again, see that revenue split? It's all about the money. Put the Band-Aid on the Band-Aid. Give us the money.
The level of government has the resources it needs to keep Oregon moving. Cities and counties are where most Oregon
that cat, what's with the kid? What's he?
Safe and reliable streets without adequate funding. These dollars will allow Tiger to maintain roads, sidewalks, streetlights, storm drains, and traffic control devices. And without this funding, our infrastructure will fall farther behind and everywhere will become less safe to travel. We all depend on ODOT to keep our highways and some of our main roadways functioning and safe. 2 of my main roads in Tigard are ODOT facilities. From freight routes that fuel our economy to the roads that families take to go to school and work, ODOT systems connect us all. If ODOT lacks the resources it needs, it's not just a state problem. It becomes a local and community problem as well. To reiterate, the 50...
Which is fine. I think local communities can deal with problems themselves.
Play a central role.
We don't need a bunch of bureaucrats with their dirty fingers in the pie.
Grow our economy and connect our communities. I urge you to support this package to help fund the critical transportation gap, and I ask that you continue working towards a broader transportation package that moves Oregon forward, towards a longer-term solution that includes addressing important items like Great Streets Program, safe routes to school, and funding jurisdictional transfers to assist in getting maintenance off ODOT's books. Thank you.
And thank you. And the Santa jammies in August are awesome. So.
Oh, they're footy pajamas too.
Footy pajamas. Oh, yeah. Best ever. What a great smile. Okay. We'll take time. Is it okay if we just go? We started just like 5 minutes late. Can we just go 5 minutes? I just want to take as many.
Normally, I would ask the Senate President for permission for that, but if you want to go ahead without the Senate President,
I'm on a roll. If we can just finish the last 3, and then okay. So. And then again, I just want to make the statement for everybody that's online, for folks that maybe are here but didn't have an opportunity before 2:30 to sign up. Friday, there will be another public hearing. Some communication can go out to the folks who are remote.
Well,
is that right?
Well, I think our best hope is that please, if you were registered and didn't get a chance to testify for this hearing, please sign up again, and we will prioritize you to as close to the top of the list as we can do.
Okay, great. Well, why don't we take
and we'll try to get that out.
Okay, a couple more. Laura Jamison from Salem, and then Mayor.
I don't understand. Is this Dog and Pony show going to continue like later tonight, or?
We had the mayor already, I think. Did we?
I don't think from Ben.
Or maybe not.
It might be out there just with the flat fire right now. Okay. Laura Jamison. Okay. Why don't we just take one more and then we're at time. So Donna Cohen from Portland. Is that a name? We might have just started because it's at 6. I'll tell you what, are folks okay if we go ahead and in public testimony here, as Patrick said, we will do everything we can to communicate back in through the folks that we ended up with remote. I want to thank everybody for your patience. I also want to provide committee members the opportunity to say anything they'd like to for the remainder of this week, any additional follow-up questions that I know the governor's office has stayed as well. We'll be trying to get folks questions. But I'll open it.
Governor's office doesn't give a rat's ass. She wants the money.
I'd like to thank everybody that hung in there online in particular. I know that was a long evening for them, especially any who hung in as long as they could, but had other things come up and had to jump offline. And I'd also like to thank the people that made their way into.
And we still ran out of time.
Open at the moment and came and were here regardless of the wait and all those kinds of things. So thank you for being here. I just would like to say that there's a lot about this that I have expressed concerns about publicly, privately, in meetings, and I will continue to.
So I think she voted no last time. We'll see what happens.
Certainly for the workforce, certainly for the reliability of our system, but at the same time, it's very incredibly important that we balance these interests, and we continue to hear from Oregonians that have concerns about the tax portion of this. There's no getting around the fact that this is not a Band-Aid financially for Oregonians. This is
That's a lie.
17 package, and that has to be acknowledged. And the approach that the only way that we could have addressed this was by somehow affecting dollars that are already dedicated to roads. That was never the intention, in particular the minority party. We always suggested that the flexibility should come from the dollars that were not yet dedicated to roads, and that we could have a conversation about how to take funding and prioritize more wisely given the days that we're facing right now. Having said that, I want to also acknowledge the people that have submitted online. It's a very strange system right now where pre-session you submitted your comments, but you didn't have a way to mark if they were for or against. And my staff printed all of those comments for my office. I have a giant box that they had sitting here when I got here. And I just want to acknowledge you. We had 1,719 comments submitted by 9:20 this morning when they started tallying. And we had 1,648 of those comments, 96%, were in opposition. We had 1%, 24 comments, that's as of 9:20 this morning, that were neutral. And we had 47 comments, 3%, that were in support. Of those members that were, of those folks that submitted comments in
You hear that? 3% that were in support. And I think, like, what, 2% of that is probably lobbyists?
that they might lose their jobs or somehow connected to ODOT. And all of these voices matter regardless of the perspective that you come from or the seat that you sit in. But I just want to say that this issue matters to Oregonians. You can tell by the number of people that signed up today. You can tell by the range of industries and interests that are present, that are advocating for a solution here one way or another. And you can certainly tell from the people that are engaging in August online, tracking the legislative process enough to submit comments and try to sway the outcome of this work. So from my perspective, I think that there's a lot that we will have to continue to engage in on these issues. We clearly have a difference of approach.
I don't understand the people that were commenting on being neutral. Like, why don't you stand on principle? Either go yes or no. Why are you even clogging up the comment section if you're neutral? Who cares?
Stable transportation system. How do we balance the inequities of the past? And how do we move ahead together? And I appreciate the co-chair giving us the opportunity to speak at the end of this day. And so I just thank you for that. I'm sure we'll have a lot more opportunity for specific questions and comments. But I would just like to say thank you, everybody that participated, and I look forward to continue to engage in this in the upcoming week.
Okay, thank you. Additional comments from any committee member? Okay, Senator Weber, is there anything you hung in there too? We appreciate you coming all the way over from the coast. I see also Senator Pham. Is there anything you'd like to share? I feel bad that I haven't. Okay. All right, we're after 6, folks. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody's patience, their diligence for coming down here. And again, as Patrick said, I want to reiterate, committee hearing on Friday, we'll do everything we can to get back signed up, that if you have we'll put a little yellow dot next to your name and make every effort that you will be first in the queue.
And the time for that meeting is still to be announced, but it'll be Monday.
Okay, so it looks like Friday is the rest of this dog and pony show.
Okay, yes. We'll close the public hearing on the Joint Interim Committee on Transportation Funding, and we are adjourned.
All right, well, looks like that's the end of it. Even though I came in a little bit late, it still went on for quite a while. And it looks like majority of the yeses are either lobbyists or somebody who's in on the money, and a lot of them are talking about the 50-30-20 split, which is definitely about the money. Other than that, I mean, I don't got anything else to add to that. We've seen some feisty ones, and clearly people on the grift. And I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. I don't know how many people were watching. Looks like we had a few. But I guess I'm going to add that.